There is new data out today, taking a look at how Americans feel about the U.S. economy and its path forward. That would be consumer confidence. Here with a vibe check is our very own Josh Schafer. So, Josh, break down where consumer confidence stands. It looked like it was a strong number to me. And what this says about how the consumer is feeling.
All right, stocks down a little bit today for the first day, and as you said, 10 days, right? Vibes are high, though, guys. Come on, let's bring the vibes up. Let's talk consumer confidence. The vibes have been good overall in the U.S. economy over the last month and in the stock market, and that's really what you see reflected in this consumer confidence data. This is the highest reading we've had for consumer confidence since July, which is, again, when the S&P 500 made its previous 2023 highs. You see stocks and consumer confidence really kind of move together a lot of times. A couple things to point out here from the print that really stuck out to me when you think about recent data is just in general, gas prices, guys, at a 2023 low right now, hovering near that level. We just talked about the stock market. The Dow Jones has been setting new records basically every day for the past 5 days now. The S&P 500 very close to a record as well. So it's not surprising to see consumers starting to feel better overall about the economy, and they're also feeling better about inflation. Their inflation expectations also coming in at their lowest level in more than 2 years, which is normally, Fed Chair Powell would say, a welcome sign for the central bank. If people feel like prices are coming down, that's good for inflation, because when people feel like prices are going to stay high, they'll pay up, and that keeps inflation up. So a solid consumer confidence print today overall.
Yeah, and we know how important this data point is when you think about the economic picture. Consumers, about 70% of economic activity, right? So this portends well for where we see consumer spending going. What else stood out to you in terms of like how the consumer is doing? It looks like the labor market is holding up, but what else stood out to you?
Yeah, so people still feel good about the labor market, which I think makes sense with what we've seen in the job market overall, right? We're talking about a little bit of a slowdown. We keep using that word cooling when we're talking about the labor market, but we almost had 200,000 non-farm payroll ads in the month of November. And I think consumers put that number in perspective well for us when saying they still feel pretty solid about the labor market. But I do think, Josh, there are some indications of, okay, consumers feel good now. Is that slowdown coming? Because saying you feel good now doesn't always mean that you're going to spend in 6 months, right?
That connection's kind of loose.
That connection is a little bit loose and isn't quite necessarily how it works. So that's something economists usually warn when taking a deeper look at this index is, okay, people feel good now. They feel good about where things are going to head, but Friday we get a PCE report, that thing comes in hot, and all of a sudden, you know, people might feel worse about how they're going to spend in a couple months, and that's something I think we're all wondering headed into 24, right, is do we get that little bit of slowdown?
We'll see you back here Friday is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, always here. Come on.
Josh Schafer, thank you, my friend.
Never a day off.
Always good to have you.